Welcome to the Positive Space Talk. Today we are talking to Chantel Clausen about her experience as an ally of the 2S LGBTQI+ community.
Thank you so much for joining us. I was wondering if I could get you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background in the CAF.
My name is Chantel Clausen. My pronouns are she and her. And I was actually in the military for about 10 years as a naval warfare officer. And now I'm a civilian in D&D, working as the digital media team lead at HMCS Venture.
Oh, great. So you're here to talk with us about being an ally. So what does that mean when we say you're an ally? What does that mean to you?
Being an ally to me means being open to listening to people and their experiences, especially people in the 2S LGBTQI+ community, and supporting those people and standing up for them. It also means educating yourself and listening to the struggles and the experiences of people in the community, and if the opportunity presents itself, educating others about it as well.
Wow, that sounds like a pretty good, like a pretty broad spectrum of things to take on board. You support members of the defense team. You were talking about active listening. Do you have any examples or anything like that you could kind of give us as an idea of how that support would work?
I think for me, it's just being an open door for people. So if there's someone in the defense team who is struggling, maybe they're being discriminated against, or maybe they just want to talk about their experience, it's just being there to listen and being that person that they can come to if they need it.
Listening must be a really big part of being a good ally. Are there some other things if somebody's interested in becoming an ally? Are there other things that they should kind of think about or are helpful?
I think education is a big part, like learning the terminology, learning how to use it correctly, learning about the past and things that have happened before, and being able to talk to people in their own language and like understand where they're coming from.
So you were saying part of that might really fit well into what you do in the CAF, right? As your background in digital media. So you had mentioned that in previous conversations that you had done some work in this space. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, actually, the way that I was introduced to Positive Space was my team and I were asked to create a video for the program. It was a short documentary about people within D&D and their experience being part of the community. And it was really a transformative experience, like for everyone involved, I think, but for myself and my team especially, just getting to hear firsthand the stories about what people have been through and the changes that are happening. Like I really had no idea about it before. So yeah, I'm super grateful for that experience, and it actually led me to take the course, the Positive Space Ambassador training myself, and become part of the community. And now I'm doing this podcast and I'm actively involved in that community, and yeah, it's just been really a whirlwind experience, and I'm really grateful for that.
Isn't that great when something like that happens? I have to say the work that I've done in this space myself has been really eye-opening. I thought I knew a lot, and I didn't realize until I actually started working on this how little I actually knew. Like it was kind of crazy. It's been really eye-opening. Like I'm like, wow, like there's a lot of people doing a lot of really good work in this space. It's fun and it's good to be a part of that. It feels good to be a part of that.
Yeah, and it's a fun community. Like people want to support each other, and it's a safe space, and it feels like different in the D&D space. It's people who are like very there to support you and encourage you, and it's just a great atmosphere to be a part of.
What's something that you wish everyone understood about the Positive Space program?
I think the program, like I was saying, it's a safe space. It's a supportive space. People are not there to judge you. They're there to help you, and they're to educate you, and they're there to progress the D&D team forward.
Yeah, it's a really great learning opportunity, I think. What was the biggest thing that you took away from the Positive Space course? Was there anything there that like really surprised or shocked you?
That's a good question. I think just hearing people's experiences was really eye-opening, because really you don't know what people have been through unless they talk about it. And even today there are still problems, obviously, like it's not perfect, but just knowing that there are still people there who need help and that are suffering, and that there are ways that you can support them. I was kind of under the impression that, oh, we're past all that. It's amazing now, but that's not the case, and there's always more that can be done.
Yeah, it's really interesting sometimes. I'm always surprised that, the the legislative barriers ended in 1992, but we're still, we were talking before the recording, and we were talking about how recent some of this stuff really is, right? The first pride flag going up in 2013, like that's still not that long ago, not even at 10 years.
I know there's an activity actually in the ambassador course where they ask you to put events in order that you think happened, and everyone was so far off because we're like, oh, this happened years ago, but it was really like 10 years ago. But like, it's like it's not that far off. So yeah, it's pretty eye-opening.
Yeah, I thought it was as well. It was something that really kind of shocked me sometimes to think about how recent some of these initiatives or some of these changes have been. Is there anything else you'd like to add to our discussion?
I think just something that, like, people who are interested in, if learning about the community or being a part of it, is just to understand that, like, there's no right thing to say or do. Like, no one's expecting you to know everything. Just be kind to people and be kind to yourself, and you should be fine.
Well, and that's such a large part of that, right? There's no tripwires or things, specialized knowledge. A lot of it's just, work on being kind. Thank you so much for doing this with us.
Thank you so much for having me.